Shelley Winters, born Shirley Schrift on August 18, 1920, in St. Louis, Missouri, grew up in Brooklyn, New York, where her father worked as a tailor and her mother was a singer. A mix that perhaps foretold her blend of grit and glamour. From a young age, Shelley was determined to rise above her modest beginnings. "I was never going to be a secretary or a nice girl who waited for things to happen," she once said. "I was going to make them happen." That fierce determination carried her through every chapter of her life. Beginning her career in the 1930s as a model and chorus girl, she eventually moved into film, though Hollywood initially saw her as just another pretty blonde. Determined to be taken seriously, Shelley trained under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio, developing the emotional depth that would later define her performances. Her breakthrough came with A Place in the Sun, 1951, where her raw portrayal of Alice Tripp earned her an Oscar nomination and transformed her image from starlet to serious actress. Over the years, Winters delivered unforgettable performances in The Night of the Hunter, 1955, The Diary of Anne Frank, 1959, and Lolita, 1962, winning 2 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actress for The Diary of Anne Frank and A Patch of Blue, 1965. Known for portraying flawed yet deeply human characters, Shelley never shied away from roles that exposed the realities of womanhood. Her honesty, intelligence, and fearlessness made her one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. Beyond her craft, Shelley Winters was known for her sharp wit and bold personality. She aged on her own terms, continued working into her later years, and constantly reinvented herself in roles ranging from a brash mother in Alfie, 1966, to a terrified passenger in The Poseidon Adventure, 1972. Her personal life was as colorful as her career, marked by 4 marriages and rumored romances with stars like Marlon Brando and Sean Connery. Yet, behind the headlines was a passionate woman of principle, an outspoken advocate for civil rights, feminism, and social justice. Her autobiographies, Shelley, also known as Shirley, 1980, and Shelley II, The Middle of My Century, 1989, offered a candid look into her fiery spirit and the challenges faced by women in Hollywood. Her marriages reflected her passionate, restless nature. From her first husband, Army Captain Paul Mayer, during World War II, to Italian actor Vittorio Gassman, with whom she had her beloved daughter, Vittoria. Her union with actor Anthony Franciosa was marked by both love and volatility, while her final marriage to Jerry DeFord in 2006 brought her peace and companionship until her final days. Among the most fascinating aspects of Shelley Winters' life was her friendship with Marilyn Monroe. For decades, their bond sparked curiosity and speculation, but Shelley eventually broke her silence, revealing the truth behind the myth. "Marilyn wasn't dumb," she said. "She played the dumb blonde because that's what Hollywood wanted her to be." The two shared a tiny apartment in the late 1940s when they were struggling actresses with little money but big dreams. Winters recalled Monroe as deeply curious, intelligent, and determined to be more than a pretty face. She wanted to understand people, Shelley said. That's what made her such a powerful performer. Their friendship was like sisterhood, full of love, laughter, and occasional clashes. Shelley remembered Marilyn as fragile yet strong, a woman whose kindness and vulnerability often became her undoing. "She trusted people too easily," Shelley said sadly. "In this business, that's dangerous." Even after Marilyn's meteoric rise to fame, Shelley defended her friend against critics who dismissed her as a joke. "Marilyn understood Hollywood better than anyone," she said. "She just couldn't protect herself from it." Winters revealed that Monroe often spoke of loneliness and her desire to be taken seriously. "She once told me, 'Shelley, I don't want to be a joke. I want to be a great actress.'" Those words stayed with Winters for the rest of her life. Reflecting on Marilyn's tragic death in 1962, she said, She was surrounded by people, but always alone. Hollywood adored her, but it also destroyed her. Shelley wanted the world to see the real Monroe, the woman who studied late into the night, cried when mocked, and yearned for respect beyond her beauty. If she had lived longer, Winters once said softly, I think she would have become one of the greatest actresses of our time. Shelley Winters's reflections on Marilyn Monroe paint a tender, tragic portrait of a woman often misunderstood. Marilyn was real, Shelley said. She wasn't a fantasy. She was flesh and blood, with a heart that broke too easily. Through Winters's words, Monroe's humanity shines beyond the glamour and gossip that long clouded her legacy. Shelley Winters herself passed away on January 14, 2006, at age 85, from heart failure in Beverly Hills. She left behind a career spanning over 6 decades and a legacy of courage, honesty, and unforgettable artistry. And through her, the world saw not just the legend of Marilyn Monroe, but the real woman behind the myth.